Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel for a special unboxing. Now, it's all about Queen. Queen have got another box set, another super deluxe merch box available coming March the 27th for Queen 2, which is my favorite album. They've already released Queen, the first album, as Queen 1, where they redid the whole album, basically re-recording a lot of the instrumentation, specifically the drums. I've yet to actually get that box set. I haven't actually got it. What I do have is something they're doing for Queen 2 as well, which is a Dolby Atmos mix for the album. So this is what they released for Queen 1. And inside, you got just a Blu-ray disc with a leaflet on a very thin cardboard digipack, I guess, with the plastic, which is okay, but I really do wish that they would stop doing this. They did this for the Live in Montreal, and it's just flimsy. You know, it's just cheap. You know, it's not going to stand the test of time, but, you know, you got a nice booklet with it. Now, this is something that Brian has been teasing on his Instagram profile with playing tracks from within Abbey Road Studios for Funny How Love Is and Procession. And I gotta say, obviously captured on a phone, the audio is not going to be brilliant, but from what even I heard on that recording, you know, it sounds really good. So this will be coming out like Queen 2 version of this. I think he said on the post that they were going to release it on streaming first, and then a physical, you know, so like basically a Blu-ray version of Queen 2. And I really do hope they keep this up for all the albums. Not so much as re-recording the album, but releasing it with a Dolby Atmos 5.1 surround, you know, whatever. Well, not 5.1 in Dolby Atmos is it, but you know what I mean. A surround version of the album. That would be cool, because up until, you know, now, most everybody just has the CDs and the LPs. Like I got Queen 2, obviously I've got the LP, but I got even a cassette of the Digital Master Series, you know. But I've got the 2011 CD and the SACD, which I gotta say, for me, is the best way to listen to the album. It's the original mix, the original recording in SACD, that's 96 kilohertz, 24-bit, and it sounds brilliant, but at the same time, it still sounds limiting to, you know, the technology they had for the album, which is why I think Brian and Rog want to release this newly restored version. I don't think it's going to be in the same vein as the Queen 1 box, because the first Queen album was recorded Trident Studios, and they were forced to record the drums a certain way for the Trident sound. But Queen 2 was only partly recorded at Trident Studios. They actually recorded other parts in other studios. So Queen 2 isn't as bad in terms of the drum sound as Queen 1, but it still isn't to what they wanted. By sheer heart attack, they had got their full sound in the drum kit, as it were. So I seriously doubt there'll be a sheer heart attack remix album. It probably will get a super deluxe box set, but by Sony, most likely, as they will hold the rights to Queen's catalog come April. In fact, on the YouTube channel of Queen, they released a Bohemian Rhapsody live This Is a Great Driving song, and in the credits it was already listed as, you know, owned by Sony Music. So that wheel is starting to turn. So I imagine Sony, after paying what, $1 billion, they're going to want their money back plus more. So expect a whole flood of releases after April, I feel. But obviously, we're getting one before April. This is like the final box set that Queen are doing themselves, and probably retaining the money for, although they will still retain all that live stuff, and that's probably where all the fans are kind of waiting for, those juicy live box sets like, you know, Hyde Park and The Summit and Earl's Court and just so much more. The Live Killers box set. Anyway, what is this video all about? I think in the mail. So, what have we got here, guys? Let me just get it out of the packaging. Oh, oh my God. Holy moly. This is something I really can't show you because I think I'll get into big trouble. But look at this. It's a 2 LP cut of the album. 2 LP cut. So 180 gram weighted vinyl, 2 LPs, just basically like the studio vinyl set. You've got 2 live concerts in here, the Rainbow and the Golden Greers. You've got the Queen 2 Sessions, and it's a full CD track listing here. You've also got the Queen 2 instrumental backing tracks. That's going to sound amazing on side B of those songs, you know. You've also got 2 other CDs. So, this is... Oh, if I can get it out, I can show you. So obviously the album, everybody knows what that's like. Then you've got a, I'm going to guess this is where all the extra marketing they throw in is. We'll go through that in a second. And then you've got a nice book. What's in the book? We've got some CDs here. And we've got some CDs here with 2 concerts. Really? No. Obviously not, guys. This is my kind of, I don't know, concept of what it could be, okay? So, it's not even April yet, is it? So basically, Brian teased on his Instagram, guys, I've got the box sets, you know, here. Insert the picture. He basically said he was filming an unboxing video. Now, I've been waiting for that unboxing video so we can finally see what is in it. Because I definitely will be pre-ordering this sucker. Or at least buying it when it comes out. And it still hasn't come up yet. He still hasn't released this bloody video. Come on, Bri. Brother Bri, what you doing? Everyone's waiting. Let's go, you know. So I thought, well, what could this be that he's going to announce? And to be honest, there is 2 websites. As of recording this video on Thursday in February. Is it February? It is February still, isn't it? Yeah, 12th of February. There is 2 websites that have got pre-orders available. It hasn't officially been announced for pre-order. So there's a site in Denmark called HHV, and then there is another site called Juno.uk. So here it is the Hollywood Records edition for the US. It's 2 LP and 5 CD, released on the 27th of March 2026. And for pre-order for this website, it's $184. Or pounds, rather. Like, really? 184, mate? I think this one might be a bit dodge. But this one is the Denmark one, and it says 130. Now, I'm liking that price a lot more. And it does have some information down here. Where it says it's a 5 CD set featuring the 2026 mix of the album, session tracks, alternate takes, demos, B-sides, backing tracks, BBC sessions, and live at the Golden Greers Hippodrome 1973 and live at the Rainbow in 1974. Now, How much of this information is correct, I do not know. Obviously, there's no picture yet, but we kind of know what the picture will be. But I do feel like this might be half correct, half incorrect, basically. Now, I've also gone and asked AI, but of course, AI is only going to tell you what it finds on the internet. So AI says pre-orders are available with a general release date for March the 6th or March the 27th. Now, March the 6th is when the actual album was released in 1974, and I would have thought that would be a better date to release this box set. I think that is when they're going to release the streaming of on like iTunes and and all that for the the Dolby Atmos mix version. I have a feeling they're going to get it. So when it does release March the 27th, they've already got like it's hit #1 in the charts type of thing. That sounds like Queen, to be honest. And then it's taken, there's that HHV site, there's Dark Side Records, which that's been added actually. In fact, half of these have been added in the last 10 minutes. That I've not seen any of these. Loud Pizza Records. Like, if I keep refreshing this, it most likely will add more. Like, anyway, it does state like this, but again, this is just taken from those websites where they're probably all copying each other. It's priced $171, which that sounds, about right. Yeah, that's what the cover is going to look like. But yet, I have not seen anybody detail what the actual tracks are, because I don't actually think anybody knows yet, because nothing actually has officially been released, and that is why. I do like that. That's pretty cool. $171 for this. And again, this one's got a little bit more. They've kind of spruced it up a little bit. And you can also get just the vinyl itself on that website. The Pizza Record Shop, this is just the album, $30. Obviously, they probably will know the track listing for this one. Ooh, nothing found there. Probably have to get taken down, who knows. But yeah, so there's already, pre-orders coming up, which means I have a feeling Brian might release his video soon. So yeah, I just kind of jokingly put this together to sort of go through what could possibly be in. So obviously we'll have the LP vinyl. This is the original 1974 vinyl that I've got here, pressed in England, I think. The EMI logo, which I don't think will be on the new one. It will have a complete, redo. It might not even say EMI, or it definitely won't say Trident, because it is nothing to do with Trident now. And on the original, you had the track lyrics on this insert. And of course, it was a beautiful gatefold for the album, going like that. Beautiful. I do hope it's fully recreated like this, because Queen 2 is my favorite album, and I have been waiting for years for this whole thing to come out. As soon as they did Queen 1, I knew a Queen 2 would be coming. So ever since 2023, I have been waiting for this, which is what urged me to kind of put together, based off what we got last, which was the Miracle Collector's Edition, what could possibly be in here. I do hope it's a black and white scheme with the first two CDs. So this would be the Queen 2 2026 mix, and maybe the 1974 mix. It is a 5 CD set, just like the Miracle. So you've got a 5th CD here. So most likely you'll just have the 2026 mix here, and then there will be the sessions on another one, with demos, B-sides, and then the backing tracks. Possibly 2 session discs, but possibly also two mixes, like the original mix of the album and the 2026 version, although I doubt it. It probably will follow the same principle as the Queen 1 box set. And then, of course, they have stated, or, you know, predicted maybe, that you'll get the Golden Greers concert and the Live in Rainbow concert, which, obviously, them two have been released before. Also, it does state BBC Sessions. Now, I've got the Live on Air release, but I haven't got the 6 CD set. The CD set I have is just the 2 CD release. The difference between this and the 6 CD release is that contains interviews and the Golden Greers concert officially released for the very first time. I personally only have the Golden Greers as kind of like, I guess you would call a bootleg, because it has been floating around on the underground market for decades, but not in great quality. For some reason, Freddie sounds like he's singing in the other room. It sounds like the stereo mixing is completely all screwed up. So I have actually burned that version to a disc, corrected slightly myself the audio, so Freddie is a little bit more in the room, as it were. But even on the Live on Air version, that sounds like the bootleg, where Freddie's voice is a little bit distant. It's a bit weird. But with some, you know, Adobe Audition mixing, you can actually get it sounding a little bit better. So I do have that, but I don't have it officially. So if that is included in this set, I'm super hyped. Because I just have the sessions, which appear to probably will come with that box set as well. So, you know, multiple releases. And obviously, Live at the Rainbow, I have got that as part of the Live at Rainbow 74 Super Deluxe box set. I actually got that, like, at a bargain price. I didn't actually pay. I paid £30 for the Super Deluxe set of the Rainbow 74, because what I ordered was the actual vinyl itself. It was double LP, $30 from Amazon. They were meant to deliver it on a certain day, and it didn't come, and I kicked off majorly. So they offered me a £100 voucher as compensation, and I said, well, instead of doing that, just send me the Super Deluxe box set, because it's only going to add another like 70 quid, and you'll save yourself 30. So they did. They sent me out the Rainbow 74 Super Deluxe, so I paid 30 quid for that. Unbelievable. Anyway, and in that set came these discs. The Queen Live at Rainbow for the Queen 2 tour, and then when they returned back to the Rainbow months later, it was the Sheer Heart Attack tour. And so I kind of taken them out of the Super Deluxe box set and put it in its own little standalone. So this again is going to get repeated, it looks like, in the Queen 2 box set. Oh well. But what won't get repeated is probably a version of the album which you probably won't know about unless you're in the know, and that is this version of the album, which I did put in the back here. So this version of the album came out in 1986 when Queen first released their entire catalogue up to 1986 on CD for the very first time. And it was basically a vinyl rip to CD. And I gotta say, this is a really good version to own if you've got it. 1986, analog, digital. It really does capture the album, the vinyl version of the album very nicely. And obviously you don't have the crackle, the phono preamp hum, you know, and all this sort of things that vinyl comes with, because it's a CD, but at the same time it's a CD, and it's very restrictive on side B, as it were. But also, I think there were some errors in how the tracks were selected, because obviously Queen 2 on side B is literally almost one long track. They segue into each other, and the point at which the segues were chosen on this version wasn't very well. So you kind of push play on, say, March of the Black Queen, and you hear in a little bit of Nevermore first, and it cuts before the end of March of Black Queen, before it's all a bit weird. Anyway, so but this quality, the quality on this is actually really good. I've done a closer look video, which you can find on my channel in the music playlist, where I go through all these different versions in that video. So yeah, go check it out, because the original 1986 release is really good. What also is very good, and is my favorite way to listen to this album, got to take it out carefully because I don't want to crack this disc. These are very delicate. This is the SACD version of Queen 2, 96 kilohertz, 24-bit. For me, this is the best way to listen to the original mix of the album. It has the room to breathe. Yes, the recording techniques in 1974 were pushed to the limits, and you can hear that in March of the Black Queen and Fairyfellow's Masterstroke. Even in Procession, it sounds limiting. It sounds like it could be more, even on this SACD, because SACD has a massive wide dynamic range, and so you can get some really great sound off SACD. It is better than CD. There is a massive noticeable difference, and when I play the CD version of this song or this album, I definitely can tell the difference between the CD version and the SACD version. You hear the chorus of the background vocals way more in the SACD version, more clearly and more separated than you do on the CD version, sadly. So this is the best way to listen to the original Queen 2 mix, but unfortunately, it's like, if you want to buy it now, you're going to be paying between £100 to £200, because when these SACDs first came out in 2011, 2012, they were like 75 quid each to buy, and I did go out and buy all but 2 of them. So I do have a full collection of the SACDs, bar the 2 albums that actually came out on a DTS 5.1 instead. But to buy them now on the second-hand market, they're uber expensive. And the Universal version, the Island Records 2011 remaster, sounds bad to me. It doesn't, it's good if you've got headphones on, but not good if you're listening to speakers. And I do hope that this new 2026 mix is, this is Queen's little group mixing this album. I don't think Bob Ludwig was involved, no offense, but he did not do a good job, in my opinion, on these albums. When you take into account like the original Digital Master Series even that Kevin Metcalf did, this sounds better than the 2011 one, in my opinion. So I'm just replacing all the discs now that I've put in for this concept box set that I put together. It's obviously a joke, guys. I didn't, really have it. But yeah, the Digital Master Series version is actually better than the 2011 mix, but it does have some audio errors on it. You can actually hear bits that should have been cut out, like Brian when he's changing chords on the guitar. You can hear his fingers scraping, the crunch, and that shouldn't be there because it's not on the vinyl record, but it was left in on, from the master tape on this Digital Master Series version. So this is quite a special version to own, to be honest. I'm quite glad that I have got it, but yeah, not the best way to listen to it either. Nor is the Hollywood Records version. This is not a very good mix because the volume has been whacked up and there is a little bit of distortion on some of the tracks, and there's an extra song been added as well on this album for whatever reason, which is there's 3 extra songs on this album. There's See What a Fool I've Been, which is actually a B-side, and that's fine. But then there's a remix of Ogre Battle and Seven Seas of Rye, just because it was cool to do it at the time. Although I do like that picture on this album. I think it's actually pretty nicely done. Mick Rock's picture there actually does look really nice, and I do hope that the 2026 box has that picture somewhere inside, because that is actually a really nice picture, but my camera's not going to focus for you. So yeah, go check out the video that I did because it's really interesting. Now I also, I'll play these clips where I flick through the book, for Queen 2. But I do think it will follow suit to what you got in Queen 1 and what you got in this Miracle Collector set, where you have the vinyl and then you have loads of advertising stuff, which I seem to have lost now. Where's all those advert bits gone? I don't know. Anyway, it's just bit the dust. Hey! Anyway. But yeah, so once the Super Deluxe box set comes out, look out for Queen 2's Dolby Atmos mix, because it will be in surround sound, and this album is going to sound awesome in surround sound. I cannot wait. I bloody cannot wait. So anyway, I hope you don't take a great offense at this video, and I'm sorry if I got your hopes up to you thinking, oh, we're actually going to get some inside information on what the tracks are. Yeah, I don't know. I'm waiting for Brian to tell me. I don't know if he will even go through the tracks when he shows what's in the sets. I hope he does, and I do hope we get the demos, the alternate takes, and the backing tracks, because the backing tracks will really be something to hear on the side B songs, and I think we've heard a lot of the demos at conventions, property of Queen Productions. We've heard a few takes, but we haven't heard alternate versions, like alternate takes. We've just heard like demos and take 2 or take 3, but it will be interesting. And 2 live concerts that have already been released. Come on, guys. Let's have a live concert that hasn't been released, please. Instead of just filling up with stuff that we've already got and charging us 150 quid is what I'll probably end up paying for this. Mental, I much prefer, I'll tell you what, Brian, listen to this, mate. Do you know what I would much prefer to pay? Is maybe like 75 quid for a release like this. This box feels like a master tape box. It's very thin and it's the right perfect size for a master tape. Obviously you're not going to fit a vinyl record, and that is why they're so big, because they contain the vinyl record. But if you're selling the vinyl record separately anyway, why need to include it in a box set? Because it just inflates the postage price. Make your box sets this size, right? Which can still contain a booklet, okay, with loads of beautiful pictures, and track listings and all that you need, but also can contain, and it can feel like almost like you're holding the master tape. I gotta where to put my stuff here. Where you open it up, and it can still be made of cardboard, guys. But you can open it up and you have a fold-out representation of the master tapes with what's contained on them. Like, I really do like this. And then you can have your little Blu-ray and DVD at the end. This is very light. This would only cost about maybe £5, £10 to post to somebody. But you could charge, say, 50, 60, 75 quid for this. And still put in some memorabilia as well. And I think people would appreciate this way more. and probably sell more copies. I mean, at the end of the day, these box sets, these super deluxes, they sell anyway. But I would really like a version of like this size, like a master tape, and not so expensive, because these bloody box sets, which are only this size because they contain a LP, which Queen sells separately. So take the LP out, because I'll buy it separately. Make the book a little bit smaller, other than this massive gong, and I think people will be complaining less, because I've seen the comments. People have been moaning about this price, like, oh, 170, bloody hell, getting fleeced again. But people will buy it though. I think Brian knows this. They're gonna buy it anyway. Anyway, I'm sorry for ranting now. I'm gonna go. I am super excited for Queen 2 box set. I will be getting it day one. Cannot wait. Let me know what your thoughts are. Will we get some new songs? We've already heard Polar Bear, Not For Sale. But what else do you think will be on this box set? Stuff that we've kind of already heard in bootleg form, or some unheard stuff? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget, like and subscribe. And I've got a full music playlist of all the Queen albums, closer look, going through all the different versions. Go check it out, and I'll see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.